All right, y'all, what's up? This is Vandal. I am back again, and right now on the line, I got Kasseb. He is live and direct in Vancouver, and he will be appearing on episode 1 with Kali Mantra, which is coming up on the 8th of August. It's just around the corner. Kasseb, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Vandal? And hey,
Yo,
hi to everyone. We're here.
nice. Thank you so much for getting on Zoom. I heard it's your first time on Zoom, so
It is, yeah.
welcome aboard. And
Good.
I'm glad that you could make it in for this interview. And how's life and how's things in Vancouver? How's it going over there?
Vancouver's good, man. We out here just getting a little bit of sun recently. The summer's become pretty nice recently. So yeah, I'm a big fan of summer, just like you, I guess, Vandal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Short
man,
time I know you, I know you're you love the warm. So yeah, I'm on that boat too.
no doubt. And yeah, this is what I've been asking everybody in a way, but how's the coronavirus situation and how's that impacted you in Vancouver and what you've been doing?
Yeah, well, pretty much like everywhere else, it had a very a big psychological impact on pretty much every individual here too. And in the beginning, the people out here took the steps needed to make sure that you can pretty much like what was that um, curving the line or what was the
Oh,
saying?
flattening the curve.
Flattening, flattening the curve. That's what I mean. Yeah, that thing, just social distancing, pretty much. And yeah, I was pretty much in a lockdown with my family for over 2.5 months, 3 months, till we figured we can go out and still be safe, and just pretty much avoiding all the big public places with a lot of people jammed into it. And to this day, I always advise my mom and my family and my friends to, still try to definitely keep it 100 and keep safe, because the numbers are, again, like Vancouver compared to the east coast of Canada, it was kind of easier, but still many lives lost and very tragic. But they managed to sort of get it in control and um, find a way to really bring the numbers down. And but again, with this heat, everyone's going out, and numbers are going back up again, pretty much like a lot of other places. And it's a little bit of a situation that people are maybe getting used to too early. You know what I mean? Like you can't really, go back to there is no same as before. Like, people need to understand that, and it's just we need to live differently according to this fucking virus, pretty much, and try to stay safe.
So now
And sorry, I said the F word. If you need to bleep me or anything, you do
nah,
that.
it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. We are censorship free here. You're free to speak your mind. You know what I mean?
Freedom.
Yeah. So now I know what I'm coming back to because I'll be flying in about 4 days. So,
Oh man, love is
hopefully it
here.
won't be too much of an issue for me when I arrive. In Vancouver and
Are you
transfer.
gonna self quarantine after you arrive for a little bit, or?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be. Um, I think it's going to be mandatory. I think they're going to ask me to do 2 weeks, but you know, I'll get to
Yeah,
that when I get to that.
that's good.
But let's get back to this. Let's get into some
Let's
music.
get back.
I think a lot of people who are watching this and a lot of viewers of the pop up in our community, they probably, don't really know you, and I think it's a good chance and a good opportunity right now for them to get to know you. So, um, tell us a bit about your background and like how you got into hip hop and to start being an MC.
Right, right. Well, yeah, I'm born in Tehran, Iran, and I grew up there for all my young in life, pretty much all my youth, and I was always fascinated by music in general, and I still am. Like to this day, I listen to a whole bunch of different stuff than hip hop too. Um, but yeah, um, growing up in Tehran, it was kind of a harsh environment for a young cat to be in, but you start to slowly like sort of adapt and find ways to fit in, but at the same time find ways to be different. So for me, I always listen to a whole bunch of like different kind of music from outside of Iran just to see what's going on pretty much. And I took interest in the colorful stuff when I was younger, pretty much like musically, and that was it's just it was my interest to to seek stuff that's not normal in that country. So we got some music. Like CDs weren't in yet, but I think I heard some hip hop on some tapes. And this is back in like '99, and I heard some good hip hop. And we had satellites over there, satellite TVs in Tehran, and people still do. Um, and that always has been a source of like foreign music and shows and different stuff. That's how we got our, foreign stuff back then before the internet. So, yeah, I pretty much got introduced to hip hop when I was back there a tiny bit, but it wasn't my dominant genre of music to listen to. But with my family, I went to Austria, Vienna, to stay there for we were gonna stay there forever, but we didn't last long. But for a year and a half I was there, I got into hip hop even more, and that's when that Eminem album dropped. Like I think like was it 2002 or 2001? But I mean 50 and Dre and Snoop. That's what, and like Tupac, Cube. Like these are the first MCs I ever got to know in my life because that was the first stuff. That was the stuff that got its found its way back to my country. And from there, I got I got into the Eminem stuff, the Eminem show, and that was really fascinating for me as a child. I'm like, okay, this is some different stuff, and he know how to do it. Now that I look back and I'm in the business, like there was a lot of little tricks with his stuff. It wasn't just the lyrics, like he knew how to capture that young um, audience, and
Hey kids, do you like violence?
it's like violent. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That's
uh,
what I mean.
yeah. I hear
It's
you, man.
hilarious because I didn't even speak English that much. I didn't understand most of the lyrics, but it was still like what I got was like to me it was really dope. So I pretty much learned English from reading hip hop lyrics and just listening to music, and movies help too. But as far as hip hop, yeah, Eminem has like I always credit him for sort of just sparking that fascination in me, and making me like I don't know, want to be a part of this family, I guess. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I was there for a year and a half, and then I went back to Iran because family didn't want to stay there anymore, and I was like 14 years old. I had no say pretty much back then. So we go back to Iran, and I had my neighborhood had done changed. My dad had moved, and I was in a new neighborhood. So one of my friends brought me a tape with a bunch of Persian hip hop on it, some Persian rapping, and then one of them was this name called this guy named Hichgas, who was like a Persian godfather in hip hop, and um, he laid the foundation, and I'm a witness to that because I was right there next to him. And so yeah, I was a fan for like 3 4 years, 5 6 years, and before I ever actually tried to write a full 16. And then like 12, 13 years ago, I started writing more seriously, and I got into this hip hop thing. And yeah, I think it has taken me far. For example, I'm on your show right now, and I'm talking to
Okay.
all these people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man.
a blessing, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like hip hop has found its way around. It found its way around the world, and I've had the blessing to be able to travel as well and to see different places, and especially out here in Southeast Asia, and other places within Asia, and just experiencing hip hop as it appears in different places, and how it fuses the cultural elements and the linguistic elements into it. And that's really fascinated me, because in Canada, okay, we get English hip hop, mainly it's American dominated, right? And then outside of English hip hop, the first non-English hip hop that I heard was French hip hop. And from French, then there was Spanish, and then of course, like everywhere else you go, you're gonna witness hip hop in the languages of the
Yeah,
countries
yeah,
that you visit. So tell us a little bit about rapping in Farsi, and what it's like, because we have the classics, like there's Rumi, and there's a lot of history in
yeah.
Iran, especially with poetry and lyrics and stuff. So how does that all fit in with your writing and your
It's
music?
quite in. Yes, it's quite interesting now that you bring it up. It's yeah. It in many ways it feels like we have been doing this for like thousands of years. You know, because uh, people do have a crazy sense of wordplay even in their daily lives out there. Like we, as a joke and as like as phrases being used, we always rhyme. You know, like in the daily conversations and with friends and family and people that are good at it. They're like, nobody can touch them because it's not rapping what we used to do and what they still do, but it's kind of like it. But it might just be a few words, but they flip it in a funny way, and that's as far as rhyming. And then poetry, like as you said, like someone like Rumi, Jalaluddin Rumi, like to this day, after 700-800 years, he is still like untouchable, and uh, people in this day and age cannot match him in any way. And that kind of poetry has kind of evolved. Like even though the Farsi language stayed alive for over 1,000 years, it's still like it is sort of like Old English and versus New English. It's a tiny bit different. So people might not really um, make a connection with that old poetry nowadays that much unless they're actually like into it, which I recommend everyone to go read Rumi, of course. But yeah, it's so I feel like rap might be a new way of um, that old school poetry, like it could, and it's getting there. Like a lot of young poets, they got influenced by hip hop in Iran in the past 10, 15 years. So um, I feel like a lot of the possible poets have turned into rappers and lyricists in Iran because it does have a bigger audience. And so we do have a lot of poets in Farsi um, scene for sure. Um, yeah,
Yeah, man. I think that what you're doing is awesome, and we've had a chance to kind of, I guess, in directly and indirectly work together,
yes, we have.
and
Yes, we
with the
have.
Gajalama stuff in the past. And I'm super excited to, because I've already heard the track, right? And this track it's already out. But we're, with the pop-up, what we do is we fuse the visual element with the audio element. And then we have this live show in the virtual world, which is Crypto Voxels. And this will be your next experience when you come in and you check out crypto voxels, and you come in there, and I'm hoping that I can get you in on a WhatsApp call as well while we're live during the
Yeah,
event.
yeah.
I think it would be really dope. So let me ask you about blockchain and cryptocurrency. Are you at all familiar with it?
A tiny bit. Like I'm a little bit like I don't know. I still write on on paper, and I use a big like classic pen. So in a way, I'm very old school, and sometimes I feel like I'm falling behind. But from what some of my friends have told me, it is it could be the future, and it's definitely growing right now. From the currencies to these worlds that I've seen that people like move in avatars. I'm trying to get into it, so I might need your guidance a little bit to show me directions. And I actually, yeah, it's interesting because in many ways, um, it's great investments, and if people can make good money in virtual world, you know, it makes people's lives easier in the actual physical world, you know. So yeah, you can either look at it as a game, as like stock, as
Hmm.
gambling, as something to do, as art, as just trying to showcase. So there's many avenues, and I see a good future for it for sure.
That's dope, man. And I'm happy that you're, taking your first steps with us, because this is one of the missions, that we set forth on, with Dow Records, and me personally, is about, onboarding people and getting people into the space who I know who could, who have something to contribute, as well as who can benefit from it, and I think that there's a lot of great opportunities now in the space, especially as an artist, as things start to open up, as platforms become easier to use, as the technology sort of finds its feet, and is a bit more like concrete, as opposed to, okay, what is this? I don't know, how do I get involved? It's too technical. Like, things are becoming easier now, and I think that this is a great opportunity, at this time, to have more artists on board, and I'm super super happy to have you in. And so let's talk a little bit about the collaboration with Kali Mantra, and maybe about the song, Kasbi. Is it Kasbi or Kasp? How do you pronounce it?
Like it's Casp. It's
Kasp.
Casp.
All right,
It's just sort of
cool.
like the short version of Kasseb,
All right.
and has like a bunch of different nicknames. But yeah, thank you. It's still good pronunciation, man.
All right,
Still good.
word. So tell us a bit about the track. Like, what's it about? I mean, because let's say we don't speak Farsi. We want to kind of get the gist of the lyrics and what the song is about.
Yeah, no, it's one of the recent tracks that I worked on, and it's I would categorize it as a personal track, not as in like personal just meant for me, as in like it's about me, and um, I like a lot of times I try not to open up on the track, but this track is one of the gems that I'm talking with myself pretty much and trying to rediscover the better me. And it's a yeah, it's a little bit of a you know I'm hitting myself in the head with a glass of whiskey, you know what I mean, and just having a conversation with myself, and trying to have a conclusion at the end too, and it's in Farsi obviously.
Hmm.
And yeah, and the producer Rex, it's one of the boys. I think you know him too,
Yeah,
right?
rec
Yeah,
sessions. Yeah,
yeah. That beat when I heard it, when the boy you know who played the song for me,
yeah.
it was it was like I heard the track and I'm like, yo, this beat is just out of this world. And I quickly claimed it. I'm like, yo, I need to have this one. And I'm happy. I heard Rex liked it too, so I'm pretty happy that we got to do this track proper.
Nice, nice. And the people who are watching this now, don't forget to join us live in Crypto Voxels on the 8th of August. It's from what time are we doing it? 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Eastern time. So that'll be what 9 a.m. your time. So hopefully, it can be up bright and early to get in avatar mode and hop in there and experience the pop up live. It's gonna be super hype.
August 8th.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. I think we're pretty good here. Do you have anything you want to add, or is there anything that you want to let the people know about? Any new projects that are coming up, or anything that you
Yeah,
think that
well,
people should know
yeah,
about?
for the rest of my music, like people can go check my website. It's kasseb.me. That's KASSEB.me, and you can go click on the tracks, and it'll bring it all up.
Nice. You can check in the description below. You can check
Yes, yes.
check the link there for Kasseb's
And then good luck with all the
website.
events, and I'm happy to be a part of this, man. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, man. Okay, thank you so much, Kasseb. Also, where can people find you on social media? Just real quick.
Uh, oh yeah, and on Instagram it's BD dot Kasseb again with double S, and you'll find me there. I'm
All
always
right.
there.
All right, dope. Thanks for taking the time for joining me, and we're really looking forward to episode 1. It's going to be Kasseb and Kali Mantra, who are going to bring it to you with the fire, with the fire.
Yes, sir. Yes, Vandal.
All right, much love, Kasseb. Thanks so much, man. All right,
Take
take care.
care.
Peace out. One love.
Love.